Okay, now that the simulation has started, I wanted to give you a orientation on the budget challenge environment and just different things to look for as the simulation begins. And understand, once it starts, it goes for 10 weeks and it doesn't stop for anything, even school shut down from a pandemic. So, for starters, you should be getting email notifications into whatever email address you specified for Budget Challenge. I think most of you used your school email, which is great. Make sure you're checking that frequently. And so, for example, I got these two notifications this morning, actually last night at 11:59 p.m. Um, Bill notification, surge card, dear customer. So it sent me an email, which doesn't seem to want to be opening. Here we go. It says, dear customer, let's take a look here as I maximize my screen. And it says, this is an email notification letting you know that your credit card bill has arrived. So it's asking me for some sort of action now. All right, so you're going to see messages like this into your email. And also, if you have the app installed on your smartphone, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to your Play Store, wherever you get your apps. Look for this icon here, the Budget Challenge icon. It will be in the middle of the steering wheel, and install that app, as well as I would strongly suggest that you install Google Sheets into your smartphone if you have a phone. That'll allow you access to your cash flow spreadsheet on your cell phone. And also, you might want to install Google Classroom if you haven't done so already on your phone, so you can access not only material from this class, but from your other classes as well. So again, you're going to get notifications like this every time you get a bill. It's going to ask you for some action here. All right. Now let's go to the Budget Challenge environment. I'm logging in via the website. If you're using the app, you will have most of the functionality of the website, but not all. Um, I don't believe you can. Well, I know you can't take written tests on the app. I'm not sure what you can see other than paying bills and checking your vendor accounts and checking your bank balance, which is some of the more important things you're going to be doing anyway. So I come into the Budget Challenge environment. And the first thing you'll notice is up here in the far right, dashboard alerts. These are those same messages that I would have been receiving via email that I just showed you. And if I click on dashboard alerts, it pops open and it says your Budget Challenge simulation has started, credit card activity, new invoice. So these are the same two messages that I've received into my email. I always see that. I will also see that in my dashboard alerts. So if you see a number up there, that means, hey, I need to go check that message and see what's going on. All right. So back to student home here. And I'm in the main student home page. Now we've been into student home vendor selections so far, and that's really about it. If you want some more information about the game, I'll get into this later, but actually there's knowledge base and help desk. And I'll get into that here in a moment here. But for starters, there's the dashboard, which is very important to be going back to the dashboard. First of all, there is the road test. The road test is where you can earn trophies, and you can earn up to 6 trophies, and each trophy is worth 1,000 points. So part of your grade on this simulation is your total leaderboard score. That will be half of your grade. And one way you can amp up or improve your leaderboard score is to get trophies. It's kind of incentive to do some extra things here. Plus, you get points for putting money into your 401k, including the money that your employer matches, that 2% that they match. You can also get points by taking quizzes, which I'm going to explain in a moment. And you can also get points for keeping your credit card balance under $500. All right. So that's the road test area, and it says I have vendors with outstanding balance 1 here. So right here in the dashboard, it says I need to take some action. I have 1 outstanding balance. And when I say outstanding, that means something that hasn't been paid yet. Pending checks would be checks that I've scheduled but haven't been posted yet. And if I click on view details for my road test, it says, oh, Well, you have an emergency fund goal here that's due in 11 days. Now, this is an opportunity for me to earn one trophy and to get some points for that. And if I hit this plus sign over here, it gives me more details on the emergency fund trophy. Save at least 500 into your savings account in the first 11 days of the simulation. All right? So you have to figure out how to transfer funds. Well, shoot, right here it says transfer funds, and then it will walk me through how to transfer funds from my checking account to my savings account. I'm not going to go into that in detail right now. You can see where that link is. You can also do that up here on your bank tab where it says bank and transfer funds. If you transfer funds, make sure you enter that in the, is it kind of the pink orangish area, the deductions or charges or whatever column in your cash flow spreadsheet. Okay? So that is your trophies. There's a perfect pay trophy, 20 days remaining. And this is if you pay all your bills on time. I'm not going to go into that in detail, but you can check that out and click on that in your dashboard area when you sign in to Budget Challenge. So those are the various trophy areas. I'm going to hide the details. That's what's called the road test. All right, an opportunity for you to earn points. Then you have written tests. View details. It says, oh, well, I've got 2 outstanding quizzes right now. One is on banking, excuse me, and the other is on, I've got a getting started quiz, which I haven't taken yet. All right. And so I can take that now, and I can take the banking quiz now. So here are some quizzes, and you're probably wondering, well, Reardon, you haven't talked to us about quizzes, and we haven't covered much material. These quizzes have a couple of components to them. Number one is they are difficult. Number two is they're open resource. So you can go into Google. You can use whatever resource that you want. You can have a talk with your parents if you like. Whatever resource you want to use to go through those answers. This is not a huge part of your score. It's an opportunity to get a few more points on your leaderboard. And also there's unit material. So for example, the Getting Started quiz down here has unit material. If I click on that, it's going to pop up some information like here's the introduction video. What is Budget Challenge? Has the Budget Challenge video, the budget and cash flow spreadsheet, vendor selections, how to pass, how to play, use the CFS, the cash flow spreadsheet to reconcile your bank account, knowledge assessment, and the like. So there's all this information if you want to review. Now a lot of this we've already covered, so I'm not going to go into it in detail, but if you want to review that information on that to get information for that particular quiz, that's where you would find it in that resource material area. So every written test has a, scroll down here, hold on, scroll down, view details, here we go, I'm back to where I started. Every test, or excuse me, quiz has unit material that you can review. I may not explicitly cover this in the materials that we're going through online, or it may be mistimed. Like banking, I don't really cover in personal finance. We cover credit, we cover investments, and we cover insurance, and we cover budgeting through the Budget Challenge. But that may be some information that you have to glean and do some research on. So it's kind of you going out and exploring some answers on your own. All right. Again, it's not a huge part of your score, so don't freak out about that. It's just another way to earn points. And at the very bottom is the rank and stats, is the leaderboard, and this gives you an idea. Hey, what are my current points, and where am I at on the leaderboard? Well, I'm competing with a couple other teachers here apparently, and I'm first out of 5 so far, just because I took a quiz yesterday. If you want to view the details of that, it pulls up your scoring information. So it'll show you, hey, here's my starting balance in my 401k. I got 5 points because my credit card balance is under $500, which I want to keep it under $500. I can get extra points that way. You will see deductions if you're late on bills or you overdraft your checking account or whatever. Um, that would be a negative thing. So you always want to keep on top of things and be using your cash flow spreadsheet. Now that's just kind of an overview. If I was sitting with you in class right now, I'd be going through this dashboard with you in detail like I am now. All right. So secondly, let's go over to our bank. Actually, let's go to vendors first. Let's go to vendors because it said we had a credit card bill due. And so I'm going to go to vendors and credit card. So it said that I got an invoice. Well, what in the heck is that? It says I have an invoice. Click down here on the green view invoice. And it says, oh, well, I got an invoice for $409.67. It's my new credit card balance. I might show detail of, but in this case, I just showed us our previous month's activity. My credit limit is $1,000. My available credit, or the amount I can spend on my credit card, is $590. And it says, as of yesterday, I have a new balance of $409. I have to make a minimum payment of $15. Now, if you are in the habit or wanting to make the minimum payment, don't. It's probably one of the worst things you can do from a credit standpoint. The question is, how much of that credit card balance can I pay? $409.67. I could pay it all. I could pay some of it, whatever. But if I want to get my 5 points per day for my credit utilization award each day, I get 5 points for that, I need to keep my balance under $500. So I already know I got a balance of $409. And this says, oh, today somebody went to the grocery store and they're going to spend $70.49. That's a pending balance, which means it hasn't been posted to my credit card. And this is just like real life because I bought airline tickets a couple days ago and I had a pending charge showing there for about 2 days before it actually showed up in my credit card account activity. So if I'm trying to keep my balance under $500, I currently have a balance of $409.67. This $70.49 is going to put me right up into right around $480. And so I need to get on it and really quickly pay my credit card down so I can keep it under $500. So I need to do something about that. And also up on your vendors area, if you ever want to check for an invoice, you can just click on your vendors and select the vendor you want to check on. Or if you're confused and wondering what in the heck's due, maybe you have to go through all of these and just check them to make sure every one of your vendors is taken care of. Or maybe you're not sure why you're getting a late charge or something. You might want to just cycle through all your vendors if you're kind of starting from scratch. But for now, we know we have a credit card bill because it showed up here in our dashboard alerts. All right? So I guess I need to pay my bill now, don't I? I'm going to go to bank and pay bills. All right. And let's see here. It says my current account activity. I have a starting bank balance of $1,436.17, which if you remember came from the vendor selection area of our job tab, kind of the beginning information. It told us, hey, here's your beginning 401k retirement balance. Here's your beginning bank balance. So it looks like I definitely have enough money to pay this bill. So I'm going to go up here and go, okay, I'm looking for my credit card. Oh, here it is, Surge credit card. And by the way, might want to make a payment on your credit card like every 2 weeks. So I'm going to hit select, and that pops a little check image here. So I'm going to write a check to Surge credit card. And notice what happens when I click in the date. Today is March 27th. Well, March 27th is grayed out. I can't schedule a payment for today. I can't schedule a payment for tomorrow. Sunday is going to always be grayed out because you can't make a payment on Sunday or schedule a payment for Sunday. It looks like the first day I can schedule a payment is Monday, March 30th. Now, there's always going to be a 2-day lag in your payments. So if you want to make a payment whenever it's due, whatever that due date is, you need to make it physically in the simulation 2 days before it's actually due. Now let's go back. I want to go back here really quick because I missed something here. Let's go back to vendor's credit card here. And I wanted to see when this bill was actually due. That's important. All right. It said, oh, it's due on, payment is due on 4/4, on April 4th. And I could also go back to student home and vendor selections. I know I'm kind of skipping around here a little bit. I could go back to student home and vendor selections and skip down to mine. By the way, you can always go back to vendor selections, go to my credit card, and it says, oh, you're billed on the 26th every month. You have 9 days to pay it, and you have 1 day grace period, or an extra special day if you're late. So if I add up 26 plus 9 plus 1, that's, yes, get your calculator out, that's 36, 31 days in March. So it said my bill is due on April 4th, but if I take 36 minus 31, the last possible day I can pay that bill is actually April 5th, because I have that 1 day of grace period, assuming April 5th is not a Sunday. All right? Which it is a Sunday. Okay? So I guess I'm back to April 4th. So April 4th is the last possible day I could schedule that. I hope that makes sense. All right. So they're going to go back to pay bills. And again, I'm going to go back to Surge credit card. So again, whenever you're scheduling a payment, today and the next day will always be grayed out. That's why we always have to be planning ahead. Now, ultimately, I could pay this bill, and I could schedule it as of April 4th. I would still be on time if I scheduled it for April 4th. But I'm concerned about my credit card balance right now, and I want to pay it down. So the earliest I can schedule it is for Monday. So I'm just going to go ahead and select Monday. And I want to pay that down. I'm going to say I'm going to pay that down $350. I'm not going to pay the whole balance right now. I do get a reward if a trophy award if I pay down the whole balance on the second credit card bill, which will be on April 26th, I believe. So I'm going to pay $350. Ordinarily, we would write out the number 350 in letters, by the way. In words, I should say, 350 and 00 over 100. I'm not going to do that right now. Now, there's this memo line down here, and you can put something down there. I suggest you always put something in the memo line. I might say credit card payment down there, or you can use abbreviations or whatever. And then, of course, ordinarily we would sign it right on. Okay? I'm scheduling this for as soon as I can, March 30th. So I put in the date. That's important. I've already identified the vendor. There's my amount. We ordinarily would write out that amount, put in a memo, and sign our check. And then we'd say pay bill. Okay. So did I actually pay the bill? Well, not really. It's pending. And by the way, if you change your mind and go, oh shoot, I made a mistake and hasn't been posted yet, you can delete your payment and start over again. But understand that that 2-day lag will go into effect, so you still can't schedule a payment for today or tomorrow. Maybe this was scheduled on time and now you're going to be late. So that's something you always have to look forward to, or look ahead to, is, am I scheduling correctly, and is it happening when I want it to? So this is going to get posted on Monday the 30th for $350. And then the last thing you want to do is, okay, does this match up with my cash flow spreadsheet? And your cash flow spreadsheet is your nerve center. It's where everything's going to kind of be your check and balance. Make sure you have enough money. So I'm going to go over to my cash flow spreadsheet. And let's see here. On my cash flow spreadsheet, I've got $350. Well, that's what I posted, wasn't it? But I have it on $328. That's tomorrow. Well, we know that's not happening. So I'm going to just go down here to Monday the 30th and put in $350. go back up here to Saturday the 28th, and I'm just going to delete that amount out. And so I'm all balanced. I need to also, if you have options 1 or 2 in your bank account, I need to make sure my little charge fees thing is accurate. Now, what I'm going to be doing later on next week, late next week, is going over the cash flow spreadsheet again and making sure you're always balanced. If you always ensure that this yellow amount over on the right, why is it skipping around? Here we go. If you're always ensuring that this amount over on the right in yellow matches up with your bank balance down here, you will always be golden here with the simulation. But if you kind of let things slide and your budget challenge bank balance is not talking to your cash flow spreadsheet, that's where things start sliding off the rails. So I'm going to talk about reconciling or balancing my cash flow spreadsheet to the budget challenge balance next week. Okay? I was going to go back to 2 things here. Talked about bank, talked about vendors, we talked about the trophies, but I want to go down here a couple things. You have the knowledge base. And knowledge base is where you can just get more information. Hey, I'm not sure about something. How does this work? Whatever. Maybe you're not getting an answer from me on a timely basis. You can come down here and look at various topics on how-tos with frequently asked questions about different areas. Okay? That's the knowledge base. Very helpful. Okay? Let's go to Student Home and the Help Desk. And the Help Desk is, if you like, I'm not sure what's going on. I need to ask somebody quickly here. Here is where you can say, okay, I have a question about such and such a vendor, about my bank, about my cell phone, about something, and I need an answer. And I'm going to type my answer down here at the bottom. I get copied on all of these, but if you're not getting an answer from me, and again, ask me first, please, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. You can also ask Budget Challenge a question, and they will get back to you with an answer in 24 hours. So last thing I want to just talk about briefly is grading and how this is graded. So half of your grade on this simulation will be based on your leaderboard score. Back to Student Home here. How am I doing at the bottom of the simulation? How am I doing on my current points down here? Again, you can click on View Details and look at those points down there. And always want to be going up in your current points. So if you're starting out with 24, 86, whatever, you always want to be going up. All right? That's your goal. Okay? So current points is 1/2 your grade. The other half of your grade is what's called an engagement score, because you will make mistakes. And I don't want to shipwreck students because maybe you've made some mistakes and your score isn't as high as you'd like it to be. You've been paying attention, making an effort. So there's an engagement score. It's basically asks you a question every day, and that is, have you paid your bills on time? And have you logged in the last 5 days? So you're logging in, you're paying your bills on time, and if you keep that engagement score at or near 100%, that'll be half of your grade as well. Because I want you to be engaged and get in the habit of checking your information frequently. When I see students starting to say 9, 15, 20 days, and they're not haven't even checked budget challenge, I'm like, well, they just checked out, and they're not doing anything anymore, and they don't really care. And that's where your score really starts going down quickly. So 1/2 leaderboard score, 1/2 engagement score. And after a few weeks, I will post a grade to the to Skyward, which is kind of a progress grade. It's not like a final grade or anything like that, but it kind of shows you, hey, this is where I'm at. All right, where I'm at with my leaderboard, where I'm at with my engagement. All right. So I hope that helps. That's a lot of information. But that would be the kind of orientation I would give on a Friday after the simulation had started. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And there's also a online webinar today. This is March 27th, 2020, to cover any questions you have on the cash flow spreadsheet. So happy budget challenge time and good luck.